We played a lot of tennis. I did too.
Great child, yeah. In the 50s.
Yeah. Jane Hirsch. Remember Jane Hirsch? Remember Charleston?
Yes. Yeah, this is
My friend Jane. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you too.
I saw it from the invitation on the email.
All Fort Lauderdale, like 3 different companies. Stores like they're all facing
Trump used to beat me all the time.
Where have you been?
Okay, how you
I
doing?
thought everybody beat you, Owen.
holy smoke!
Oh, hey, how are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Oh, yeah, Mary, how you been? Dudley, good. Oh, okay, great.
I'm glad there's some girls. They got to go live. We don't want to do that.
Shoot, come on, man.
They just care about
Yeah, she was on. No, she worked.
Yes. I spit out plenty of chips in my teeth. But I had a lot of fun.
Hey, lady, how you doing?
That was you.
I got all your love. I appreciate it. Charleston, he used to play here. This was his club. I love it. It's cool. Hey, lady. Play here. How you doing? How are you? Thank you for being out.
We're in recreation.
My wife, we work till 9. Our days kind of just, our days just kind of start. We work when you play. What did it have? Oh, absolutely. Why do I keep saying you order? How are you?
Finish.
But you never played Rook?
Finish.
What did they play Rook? Until it stopped to get out.
He probably goes to Holy Spirit now. Probably comedians.
Taking around.
The Jack Adams tennis courts. We've got a real sort of mixed group of people here, people that have played here for many years. I would like to ask you to raise your hand, please. If you played here in the 1950s, raise your hand. How about the 1960s? You raise your hand again. Okay. How about the 1970s? The 1980s? How about the 1990s? No, somebody played here in the 1990s. There we go. All right. How about after 2000? All you children need to raise your hands. Okay. I think that shows what these courts mean to everyone, that they've come back. I think it means that they have that they have very fond memories of these courts. And they always say that you can't come back to your high school or whatever, but in this case you can. It's just that they're better. They're so much nicer courts, and we really appreciate all that the city has done, especially Beth Brownlee. Where is Beth Brownlee? Would you raise your hand, please? Back there, she was the project manager. She's from the Parks Department, and we really appreciate it. I want to introduce to you Councilmember Gregorie. Mayor Riley has that stomach bug that is going around, so he could not make it. But Councilmember Gregorie is here, and he'll come up and please talk to us a little bit about the courts and about the city.
Okay. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank our Mayor Pro Tem, who's here, Keith Waring, for allowing me this opportunity to talk about these courts in my neighborhood and courts that I played on as a child back in the 50s before they were even integrated. We were oftentimes placed on the last two courts without the lights, but that was good enough for us. We still got a chance to play tennis. One, Charleston, a city that works for everyone. It's important that we let you know we heard you. We heard your cry for making sure that we have the kind of courts that a world-class city deserves. And thanks to the contractors, thanks to Family Circle, who helped us to now have the best courts on the peninsula. And we're very, very pleased for that. I'm not going to prolong this because for me this is a great day in District 6 because we are in the district that I represent. We worked hard. Peggy, Yarborough kept pushing me to make sure that the budget contained enough money so that we can get these courts through. It took us a couple of years, but it worked. And now I'm very, very pleased that we're about to formally open the best courts on the peninsula. So again, thank you very much for coming. Kids, please enjoy these courts because when I was your age, I learned how to play tennis here. I have an aunt who's a state champion in tennis in Minnesota. We played on these courts. She taught me as a child. She was a champion in the state of South Carolina. Her name was Esther Snipe. She helped to integrate the courts in the old village, and she would come out periodically and teach me how to play tennis. I'm still not very good at it, guys, but I definitely enjoy the sport. But again, I'd like to say congratulations to, the mayor's here. Okay, I would like to say congratulations to all the folks who played on these courts over the last 40, 45 years. We now have better courts. Some of us are a little older, but we still can play a little tennis. Thank you very much. Mayor Riley.
I've got that stomach bug that's been going around, so if I don't shake anyone's hand today, it's not because I don't have affection for all of you. And then my good excuse for being a few minutes late was I was on the phone with the White House, not with the President, but with his Office of Intergovernmental Affairs. They're very helpful on a number of matters with us, and I certainly wanted to take the call, which I know you understand. Jack Adams, Joe, great to be with you. Joe Harrison, who was a great tennis player. His dad, one of my wonderful professors, one of my favorite professors at the Citadel. Dr. Reeves, whose dad taught at the Citadel and a great tennis player, and my colleagues on City Council, Councilmember Gregorie, who you obviously heard from, and Councilmember Waring. Any other council members here? Well, thank all of you very much for being here. The game of tennis is such a wonderful game for many reasons. One is that you give a young person a tennis racket and teach them the stroke. And then they've got a game where all they need are some tennis balls and a public court. Wherever they go in Charleston or travel around the country or the world for that matter, you know the game. You've got a stroke. You have a tennis racket. So you can go play tennis. You make friends, and develop relationships, and you stay fit, and you have the joy of athletic competition and participation. It's a wonderful game. But you have to have tennis courts, and you must have public tennis courts. These public tennis courts date back to the 1920s when the city had the foresight to build courts here. They've been expanded over the years and then dedicated in 1976 to Jack Adams, who was a wonderful athlete. He was a great coach here at the Charleston High School and at Rivers. He was the recreation director for the city of Charleston. He was an excellent athlete and a very good tennis player. And Jack Adams loved the game, but he loved the sight of people, children, and older people enjoying the game of tennis. These courts have been have a rich part of the city's heritage in public recreation. We're very proud of many activities that go on here and that these courts have encouraged. Dolores Jackson is Dolores here, and there's Dolores right there. So sorry, I tried my best to be on time. Dolores Jackson started in 1992 with a $12,000 grant, the Sporting Kids program. The grant was from the Paul Newman Foundation, and that program has received national recognition, has been recognized at the U.S. Open, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children from the inner city, many of whose parents didn't know the game of tennis. If it wasn't a tennis racket in their home, learned and began to have this gift of this wonderful lifelong sport. The elementary and middle school tennis program run by Peggy Bone, a fabulous tennis manager, and Peggy is here. Where are you hiding, Peggy? She's right there. I give all these people a hug if I didn't have germs you had to worry about. And the elementary and middle school tennis program run by Peggy for over 20 years. And children from public and private schools, these are public courts, they belong to everybody, and singles and double leagues. And this year, Peggy has 115 teams and manages a 6-week schedule of matches in the season-ending tournament. There is the West Side Tennis Club, the seniors neighborhood program. You cannot come by these courts and not hear the great sound of a tennis ball being struck, or the sight of people enjoying the game of tennis. The city is very proud to have rebuilt these courts. I want to thank Beth Brownlee. Is Beth here? Beth right there. Beth, coming up so everybody can see you. You know, the city's capital projects division manages the construction, the design, and the construction of everything that the city builds, and they do a wonderful job. So, Beth, I thank you and your team for the design, management, and construction, contracting out to us. Let's give Beth a big round of applause. Where's Marion Saunders? There he is, right, walking across. Marion, great to have you here. So, since 1927, Dr. Reeves was a math professor, Jerry's dad. He could quickly round off that, but that's approaching 88 years. Is that right? 88 years these courts have been available to public citizens of Charleston, and we're so proud they're in now the best shape ever, and so happy to be with you today as we rededicate these courts. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay, next I would like to call up Joe Harrison. Joe is Jack Adams' son-in-law, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Jack and his wife Pat, who was, I believe, a Canadian national champion. So come on up, Joe.
All right, Joe.
First of all, I'd like to wish the mayor a speedy recovery and thank you for comments. And on behalf of the family, the Adams family, three of whom are here, my wife, Teresa, and my sisters-in-law, Jackie and Penny. There are two other sisters. They are living in Florida and could not get here. They will probably come in a couple of weeks, so if you see some pretty good tennis out on the courts, it might be them. They're still playing and they still play well. I just want to say a few words, I guess, about Jack Adams. When I was growing up in Charleston, I was at the Citadel. My father, as Mayor Wiley just indicated, taught there. And Jack Adams became a presence in my life in a lot of ways. The first way, before I even met him, when I played Little League Baseball, I had no awareness of who was overseeing all of these wonderful programs. But what I would like to add to what has already been said, I was going to say a little bit about biography, but the mayor covered some of that. Jack Adams was an upstate boy. He was born in Lawrence. He went to Presbyterian College. He was indeed a gifted athlete. He was very tall, strong fellow. He played he was nominated Little All-American in football. He held the state high jump record in track for a number of years. And while he was there, he met his future wife, or it didn't take long, I don't think it was a long courtship, Pat, and she was a tennis player who indeed was at PC on a tennis scholarship. And his interest in tennis was developed, and he came in the end he came to Charleston. As Mayor Wiley mentioned, he coached in the high schools, and then in the administration of Palmer Gilliard, he was appointed playground director. And at that time, he became very interested in overseeing tennis programs, and he was involved in the transfer of the city tournament, which used to be played on two courts down at the College of Charleston, to this arena. That took place, I think, at the very end of the 50s, or maybe at the very beginning of the 60s. And when that happened, these courts became the central courts of the city, and remained so until the courts were built west of Ashley. And they're still, as has been marked already, the masterpiece of the peninsula with these new courts we're celebrating today. The one other thing I want to add, I have a few notes about Jack Adams's philosophy. I've got the notes, so I won't go on, because I could talk about Jack Adams, the coach. He could never see a young man in any sport practicing that sport, spotting something, jumping out, and wrecking. This happened all the time to me, right out here. He couldn't stand the fact that I hit volleys with both feet off the ground. And he let me know it at every opportunity. He was a successful coach in the high schools. When he came to the city, one of his main focuses, as I said, was tennis. The two principles were, first, tennis for everybody, okay? And that started at home. He had 5 daughters. All of those daughters played tennis. 3 of those daughters became accomplished tournament tennis players, okay? And are still playing good tennis. 2 of them are not here in Florida. They're in Florida. He thought tennis was for young, old, big, small, black, white, girls and boys, everybody.
Amen.
Tennis was for everybody. Okay. The second principle was tennis was for a lifetime. Tennis was a sport that you played into your later years, unlike some of the other sports that he had coached. I personally have fondest memories of Jack Adams. I have fond memories of all the times spent on these courts, and I can see that there are a lot of young people here, and in future years they're going to look back on their times at these courts, and they're going to be fond memories. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. I thank the city on behalf of the family for the new courts. They are beautiful. The superb lighting, everything about this is first class. I think everybody's very good.
Thank you, Joe.
Next, I'd like to have Marion Sanders come up. Marion is the president of the West Side Tennis Club, and the West Side Tennis Club is a club that is based out of here at the Jack Adams Tennis Center, and they play other cities. So I'm going to let Marion tell you a little.
And the councilman that that's our call, because we tried very long to get these courts done, but it's done now, so we're very well thank you for that. The West Side Tennis Club, we play all of our matches here. The club was actually organized out of the ATA, the old American Tennis Association. Was the inception was before integration. That club is still going on today. We do have the national championship every year, and for one day for every year, so it's still going on. And our club, we play teams from all over the southeast. We play teams from Augusta, Savannah, Columbia, Charlotte, Fayetteville, and Winston-Salem. So we do have a very good time out here, and there's still good tennis and good camaraderie, and the city benefit from good people coming and putting money into the city to make sure they buy new tennis, they buy gas, they buy food and stuff. But we do appreciate the effort that you did support the area, and we do use the court very well. I can bear with that. Oh yeah. We do have a lot of our members here, and I'd like for the members to kind of show their hand who are here. That's my wife over there. And there's some sitting over here. Oh, no, I do have one other thing. Our work is not done yet. Okay? These courts, right, they really, when it rains, it gets warm.
All right now.
It's a serious, because it's going to affect the courts. And when we walk from here, most shoes have crevice, and you pick up the paper and you take on the court. So I think So we can try that. Thank you very much.
I especially would like to thank our children, and I hope in about 40 years you're going to be standing here saying, I remember when I played here. So we've got some cake and some cookies and some drinks over here, and if y'all can beat the children there, y'all can go and have some. We thank you for coming.
Okay, guys, let me see if we can get a picture of Mayor Ryan. Let's see if we can get a picture of Mayor Ryan. You're winging. You get a shot. Okay, perfect. Right here, come on. You got to muscle in there. You got to muscle in. No, he's not going to shake your hand, even though he wants to. You gotta watch the nice one. Let's go. Let's back up. Hey, Riley, thank you very much. It's a great picture for the school. You guys ready? Excellent.
Oh, can we borrow them one more second? This is your district councilman. Hang on, I can't see his face back there. There we go. Thank you.
It was good to hear you. You did okay.
There he is.
That guy knows everybody.
You know it's real powerful, man. You really catch me. Yes, you know. You met my photographer.
Yeah, I'm Keith Lane.
Yeah. Good for you. I know that's hurt. You'll be all right. We drove it. How you
Edge.
You did a good job with it.
You did good.
I tried.
All right. Well, you did good. Thanks a lot, too. Okay.
Thanks. I thought it went really well. I appreciate you
too.
doing it. I mean,
I
we had
was
a good,
winging it.
we had a good
I wish I had your script home for free. Next time.
He told me he was. I mean, they told me he was coming. But it was a fun. I thought it was fun. We had a lot of information.
Come on. Take care, brother. Okay. I love it. It's Dudley.
No, you guys are strong. Have a good weekend. What are you going to do? Have a good weekend.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And we will talk to you. We'll call you. Okay.
All right.
You did a good job here. You did a good job. Y'all take care now. All right.